Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Today we will present based on our subject STIZ 2024 Basic Network UE, and our lecturer is Sir Muhammad Samsul bin Sajjad. First is about our title. It is our small office network design, and we are from group 5. And now I will introduce our member. First is Selina binti Abdullah 254394. And next is Maitali anak perempuan Kumarasamy 259232. And for the third member is Yang Yongfan 257231. And for our last member, Yang Jahal 257246. And for now, I will start to present. And hi, my name is Selina binti Abdullah 254394. For now, I will present our first point. Our first point is define small office network. We'll talk about what is small office network. Small office network is considered a micro enterprise, and the owners are often self-employed or working remotely. A small office network is also small business that are often run out of homes or even virtually. Next, small office network is also based on Internet LAN technology, and it network for access daily work, and it also suitable for maintain small office. These are the 6 main points about what is small office network. So next I will talk about the characteristic. The first character is small volume of requirement. The second is generally 1 to 10 users only. And the third one is few switch port and few access point, and also only few router. Next is example. The below show the example of the characteristic of small office network. The characteristic that we list before have shown in the figure. Next is about the purpose of small office network. The first one is enable internet access. The second one is access to online resources. The third one is access to local resources, and the last one is access to remote resources. Next, I will talk about anatomy of a small office network. Small office network is a small office that consists of a modern Wi-Fi, router, switch, a number of end-user devices like desktop PCs, tablet, smartphone, and peripherals like scanner and printers. Small office network also with modern equipment that works right out of the box. Knowing the role and function of the device is enough to get a small office network set up running in a matter of minutes. I will simply draft out anatomy small office network. The first is on your modem. Purchasing a cable or DSL modem instead of leasing one from your ISP, it saves money in the long run. And the next is securing a router's Wi-Fi network. Set a router's Wi-Fi protected access in Windows or OS to protect a wireless network from unauthorized user. The next is wireless access point placement. Avoid placing a wireless access point near structural metal, and it can interfere with the signal. The next is print from any device. Print from any device on the network when you connected a printer to the switch or a router. And the next is switches planned for growth. Daisy chaining switches can set throughput. Plan for the future when choosing how many LAN ports a switcher should have. The last one is dual channel Wi-Fi. The 2.4 GHz band tends to be more crowded. Connect data devices like laptop and tablets to the 5 GHz band. It is less congested but has a shorter range.
My name is Maithili Kumarasamy and my metric number 259232. Advantages of small office network. Smaller organizations have more modest computing and networking requirements. They might have a dozen or so computers and few laser printers. The network for the small office must allow members of organization to share information as well as printers and other peripherals. The computing needs of most small organizations can be met by a single LAN with 1 or 2 servers using off-the-shelf components. A small office LAN usually can be managed by one person with only moderate technical knowledge and experience. The design of a small network must be simple yet functional, secure and scalable. As the business grows, the network must easily expand with it. Even if the scale of the initial environment is small, avoid making technology decisions that might limit your company as it expands. How to build a small office computer network. First, determine your needs and get internet installed. The first step in getting internet for your small office network. These are the first and very important steps. Second, set up your modem and router. A modem is the device that converts the internet signal from the cable or wire into a signal your network can use. A router is a device that connects the device in your office to a signal from the modem. A switch can be placed near the router or close to the workstation, whichever makes more sense for your business. The third step, add your computers. After set up your router, it is the time to connect your computers. A wire network connects the Ethernet cable to the back of the router and run it to each computer. Plug in your Ethernet cable to the router or switch. Those computers will generally connect automatically. Fourth and the last step, add your printer, copiers and servers. Using a server or network attached storage device, plug those into the router or switch as well. The same goes any wired network printers. Difference between a switch and a router. A small office network setup having a foundation of switches and routers. A switch is any pieces of equipment that allows network device to communicate and share information. On an Ethernet network, we are connecting desktop PCs, printers, servers, network attached storage, voice over IP, surveillance system, and device with an Ethernet cable port. A router by definition ties together different networks both inside and beyond the physical space of an office network. A router is smarter than a switch.
I will continue the third point. How does a small office network work? First, the choice of network structure. According to the actual demand of small office network, usually only one or several switches can form a network without hierarchy. Second, network technical support needs. In the small office network design scheme, due to the cost and practical application requirement, there is no need to deliberate pursue high-end new technology. Only the most common twisted pair gigabit core server connection, megabyte to the desktop with 2 network access technology can be used. Third, the use of software equipment. In the small office network, due to the cost and application requirement, the cheap router SIM is usually adopted. Of course, the office that has the condition or the needs can also choose the lower grade boundary router SIM, which can support more internet access mode. This is the example of the small office network. Fourth, consider the needs for network expansion. The network size and usage of small office network change over time for the most part. Therefore, in the choice of network equipment, to fully consider the expansion of the network. Network scaling considerations are primarily reflected in switch ports and supported technologies. In terms of port to leave a certain amount of margin, do not choose only to meet the current network, not number of port switch. 5. Control of investment cost. Because small offices generally have poor financial strength, the cost of investment in the network is generally lower. This requires that in the design of the SIM you fully consider the cost of investment in order to make the office network application and future development of the premise as far as possible to reduce the cost. Also so that the selected SIM has a higher cost performance because the number of users is very small. From an economic point of view, you should choose as many ports as possible switch. Next, how to implement small office network. First, network equipment placement. Network equipment is composed of router and switches and with some network cable. Considering the security problem in the small office network environment, a firewall suitable for the small office network is also very necessary to buy. It is better not to stack the equipment on the head of the switches if very large. If stacked, the head cannot be released. Next, selection of router in network process. The choice of router is the most important as it serves as a bridge between the internal and external network. The stability and performance of the router is important, especially if it supports printer connection and a built-in printer server. 6. Software setting. After the hardware is ready, it is necessary to work on the software configuration to truly fully build a small office network. Next is the selection of the switch. Take the office that have a network of 20 computers. The interface provided by the switch must have more than 20. So to choosing the port, we must choose a 24-port switch that can fully satisfy the connection of computer. We must choose a higher performance switch to make sure it doesn't affect the performance. Next is set up a firewall. Set up a firewall to prevent hackers from attacking. In fact, the router itself also has a firewall function, but the firewall capability is limited. To do this, we need to add a firewall device in the network environment. It can prevent all authorized user network requests and prevent unauthorized user from access. Last one is network cable selection. Most office users do not need a very good network cable. Ordinary twisted can meet by the demand. Here we need to pay attention to the length of the network cable because we put it in the center of the office. We choose the cable length based on the network actual situation. The last point for the small office network is about efficiency and coverage of small office network. So the first is about the efficiency. Because of the limitation of the small office network, the small office network can basically satisfy the needs of 10 to 20 people to the work online at the same time. Secondly, the network speed of 2 M per second can be guaranteed for each person. Next is about the coverage. A typical small office network can guarantee a coverage area of 200 to 300 square meters. Next is an enterprise router with a large coverage area can guarantee a coverage area of 400 to 500 square meters if you choose one with strong penetration. So that's all for our presentation, and thank you for your attention.